Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex, and today we're looking at a paper trending on X, published on June 29, 2025, about 5 days ago. This paper introduces a transparency index that successfully pushed major AI developers to disclose more about their models. The paper is titled, "The Societal Impact of Foundation Models Advancing Evidence-Based AI Policy," and its findings have already influenced real-world policy, like the U.S. Foundation Model Transparency Act. It also provides a conceptual framework for these models and introduces a comprehensive platform for their evaluation. Alright, so to build that framework, the authors lay out a clear roadmap. This table of contents shows their approach. First, they define foundation models as a new technological paradigm. Then, they build a conceptual foundation by analyzing 3 key areas: capabilities, risks, and the supply chain. They highlight risks like what they call homogeneous outcomes, which is an algorithmic monoculture creating single points of failure. They also look at emergent capabilities. These are unexpected abilities that weren't explicitly programmed. This structure allows them to systematically tackle the problem. Building on that structure, this first chart really drives home the urgency. It shows the months it took different technologies to reach 100 million users. You see platforms like Snapchat and Twitter taking over 60 months, while TikTok took around 9. Then there's ChatGPT, which hit that milestone in just 2 months. This staggering speed highlights why governance is struggling to keep up, and it's why the authors developed 2 key platforms: the Holistic Evaluation of Language Models, or HELM, and the Foundation Model Transparency Index, or FMTI. And that rapid user adoption had huge economic ripple effects. This next chart visualizes the financial side of that story, showing the growth in AI company stocks from early 2023. You can see a dramatic takeoff right after ChatGPT's launch, with valuations adding over $8 trillion in less than 2 years. This massive industrialization of AI, with companies like NVIDIA skyrocketing, really sharpens the contrast with the slow pace of governance efforts. It underscores the urgent need for the kind of evidence-based policy this work is pushing for. So to build that kind of policy, you first need a solid conceptual map of the technology. This diagram shows the evolution from machine learning to deep learning, and now to foundation models. It frames this progression through 2 key ideas: emergence and homogenization. Emergence is when new, unplanned abilities appear from the data. And homogenization is when the field starts to standardize around a few dominant approaches. As we move toward foundation models, both of these trends accelerate, creating powerful new functionalities, but also concentrating risk into just a handful of models. And this next diagram really visualizes what that foundation model paradigm looks like. On the left, you see how it starts with massive amounts of data from various modalities, which are just different types of information, like text, images, and speech. This data is used to train a single, central foundation model. Then, through a process called adaptation, that one model can be specialized for a wide range of downstream tasks, like answering questions, recognizing objects, or following instructions. This one-to-many approach is what makes these models so powerful. Building on that paradigm, this diagram breaks down the entire foundation model ecosystem. On the left, it all starts with data creation, showing information from many diverse sources like news, images, and code. This data gets organized into massive datasets, which are then used to train just a few very large models. After training, each model undergoes adaptation, which is just a process of fine-tuning it for specific applications. Finally, these specialized models are deployed to many different end users. This entire flow really visualizes that homogenization we talked about earlier. So putting all these pieces together, this work really highlights the critical mismatch between the explosive growth of AI and the slow pace of governance. The authors argue that to bridge this gap, we need systematic, evidence-based policy. This is achieved through concrete tools like the Holistic Evaluation of Language Models and the Foundation Model Transparency Index. These help us understand emergent abilities, like in context learning, where a model learns from examples in a prompt, and chain-of-thought reasoning. Ultimately, the paper concludes that academia must lead this effort. That's all for this week's AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in.